Hello everyone. So I made a post the other day because I've been talking to some people who we have this phrase in our culture about getting your ducks in a row. And there's always this desire when you're ready to embark on something new to think, okay, I got this duck and that duck and this duck, and I got to kind of make sure that they're all in a row, right? And I shared at first, here's my duck, nice big duck that I keep. And I posted a picture of this duck and a Seth Godin quote, which is the subject of this post. And, Seth is talking about, instead of worrying about getting them all in a row, realize you have a duck and decide what you're going to do with it, right? And taking that and building upon it, I was encouraging people that I'm talking to about this stuff to say, why don't you just realize that I have a duck, and every day that I do something with the duck, I'm lining up a row of that duck doing what I know to do today, just today, not worried about getting them all in a row. I take my duck and I do something with it. And that was, I think, a really helpful kind of way to look at it. But then when someone starts to get a hold of that, I think, this duck, I'll explain to you the little history of the duck, is that my husband used to be the local Rotarian president, and they had a duck race that they did. And so they would take all the little ducks, and they were numbered, and they would put them into the river, and at the end of the river there was this contraption they built, because it really wasn't a wide river, and they had the wood and all this stuff, and then they had this narrow bottleneck that it all went into. And all of this, about 2,000 ducks, would get dropped down the river. My husband, if anybody knows him, is extremely funny, and he would be talking and making it seem like they were the NASCAR race of ducks, and he was talking about how this one's passing that one, and but eventually they came upriver, and then they would come and funnel into, and what would you have? You would have a row of ducks. You would have the winning ducks. But in order to get to the winning ducks, you had to kind of release the ducks. You had to let them go upstream, where you didn't know if they were going to be winners or losers, whether they were going to get in a row or not, or which ones, I will say. You didn't know which ones were going to get in a row. So that's kind of what I want to encourage people today. I want them to think about when that phrase comes, because it comes up a lot. Got to get the ducks in a row. Why don't you think about the mental picture of, in order to get my ducks in a row, I should be releasing more and more ducks, and then letting me figure out which ones of those ducks are the winning ducks, which ones will line up at the front of the pack and will take me where I want to go. So that's my analogy for tonight, my picture that I want to plant in your brain, and I want to see people starting to release their ducks and make things happen. Make the things happen that you want to have happen. That's how you do it. You just release more ducks. Have a good night.